Thank you for calling American Girl. Your call will be recorded for quality control, training, legal, and other business purposes. If you do not consent to such recording, you may disconnect this call at any time.
Great.
All calls recorded. Girl, this is Kara. How may I help you?
Hi, Kira. My name is Allie. I have been a fan of yours for 10 years, so you know I'm really dedicated to you guys. So this is just the general customer service line, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I have a few questions. First of all, what department of yours runs social media?
We have some associates who have been trained to do the social media portion of our customer service. And I think they just fall under the regular, direct service associate category. They're just calls, regular call center.
Okay, because
Like me, but with more training.
yeah, so they're the ones who post on the Instagram page and answer all the customers' DMs, right? Okay, so before I move anything on with that, what department makes the decisions? Like, what is like, who's like the higher up who like decides what products are gonna be like announced or like made?
So that would probably be like a development team, product development. I don't know if that's like their exact title, but it would be those designers that that create the product. Probably that. Well, actually, they may not be the ones making the decision on what to create. It might come from the creative director. Maybe tells them what type of design or create.
Okay, because the reason why I asked about your social media page is because so I have been telling the whoever runs your social media page to relay a message to whoever makes the decisions that the decisions that your company is making is wrong. Like, for example, the most recent one that decided that yes, I wanted to call you today is because one of your characters is named Addie. She was a former enslaved girl, and she and her whole family had to escape slavery. And yet you think it's not as important to celebrate Juneteenth, a day that commemorates some things like that, like enslaved people, over selfie day. And that makes me very upset. That's not straight priorities. That's very bad. It makes you look very bad. And I'm very upset because these are the kind of things that we have been telling you guys to stop for years. And yet you people won't listen to us, and instead you will ignore us. Because I have told the people over Instagram DMs to relay these messages to your bosses or whatever, and instead they just ignore me. They don't even answer. They just ignore me. And I'm very upset. And I'm not the only one.
Okay. So I apologize if you hit messages and did not respond. Pass that along to management. And also any comments that you want to make or product suggestions or things like that, you can just leave with a customer service representative. And we do have emails that we send out every evening with the comments, and our managers do read those. And a lot of changes that we have in our product line have come from customers' concerns and things like that. As far as the Juneteenth celebration, I did get an email.
Because there's nothing on the Instagram stories or posts, nothing, but yet something as insignificant as National Selfie Day gets a post. That's ridiculous. And anyone who sees that situation should know it, especially because one of your characters was a former slave.
Yeah, so I apologize that we didn't do anything officially, like through Facebook or whatever, but we did get an email for us as employees to honor Juneteenth with our colleagues. There was a Zoom and Teams.
Well, your customers are not part of the Zoom and the emails. As far as you can see it, but we can't, and that makes us think you don't care. And that makes us upset. I'm sorry if I seem very rude or blunt, but that's because I've been putting up with things like this for so long, and I told you at the beginning of this call, I have been a fan for 10 years, and I've grown up with these dolls and all these characters. And when it seems like something that's so important doesn't matter, but yet something insignificant matters more, it makes me very upset. And that's what got me to the point of actually calling and complaining, because I knew I wouldn't be left unseen through a DM, through a phone call.
I'm like I said, I'm happy to pass your comment on, and hopefully we will respond and do better
Next year, it's not even just Juneteenth. You do realize, I'm pretty sure that you retired so many of your dolls of color, and yet there's so many lookalikes that are blonde and white and have blue eyes. There's like clones, and yet you keep retiring dolls of color, and it's wrong. Many kids do not need to pay extra $100 to have a doll that looks like them, because that's ridiculous. And you should know it. You should know that your company should be focused on making diverse dolls for children. And yet it's.
We did have a statement that went out like a year or so ago.
I know you got your statement, but it was. You did not follow up.
This fall we are going to be releasing a new line of contemporary dolls that should be addressing that issue. So they're going to be having, books, stories, and accessories and outfits. And,
the books and the accessories make dolls. And especially, don't even get me started on your Eastern Asian representation. There is barely any of them left. You retired your only Eastern Asian historical character. Their contemporary line one is gone, along with all of it. Only I think 3 Girls of the Year were. It's ridiculous. It's not fair to these children who have to sit there and demand to pay extra money for dolls to even just look like them. And it's wrong. And it's time for you to quote, you said this yourself. It's time to play fair. Well, I'm telling you, it's time to play fair because it's wrong. And you guys know it's wrong, and you continue to release new white dolls all the time and barely any dolls of color. And it's very wrong. And I hope you guys reflect on this because I have been telling you this for so long and I got ignored.
We did just release 2 of the street chic dolls that were dolls of color.
You released 2 of them that were dolls of color? That 2 of them doesn't count because you ended up retiring 3 out of 4 of them. I just heard you're retiring are dolls of color. So it doesn't count when you take them away and then put new ones in. That doesn't even count for the other ones that you just released. It doesn't matter. It's wrong. That's why I wanted to say who makes these decisions. Because whoever makes these decisions needs to have some serious sense into them. Because you can't just keep lying to people saying you're going to do things. It's over a year later, like you said, and yet barely anything has changed or has happened.
Well, it does take about 2 years to design and create and manufacture these dolls.
It's been more than 2 years, and yet it's barely happened. Also, your next Girls of the Year, I really hope they're not white. Because don't get me started on that. I'm very upset if you can't tell.
Yeah, I'm trying to find our statement. I do believe we're trying our best to address the issue. I'm actually a little bit nervous because I love our product, and I bought those 3 new dolls with the colorful hair, and thankfully I had all the OG dolls already. I didn't have to buy those, but I have a feeling we're going to be coming out with quite a few of the diversity dolls,
and I'm really hoping that they're not recycled either. Because if you remember 2017, Gabrielle McBride, they might have just retired a Truly Me right before her release. That's called recycling. And that's just as bad. When you don't put in effort to make new things, when you think you can just recycle them. That's bad. And that was the last time we had that.
I believe these are going to be new. They don't feel I was wondering if we would ever come up with maybe a line doll.
Yes, that's very interesting. If you want to look on your Instagram page, it's a big square that says it's time to play fair, which is where I got that saying from. And I'm someone who holds things I love accountable.
Here's what it says. Our teams have also been hard at work developing new contemporary characters with accompanying stories that will reflect the racial diversity and multidimensionality of girls today. As always, the new dolls, books, and accessories are being meticulously researched, crafted, and overseen by experienced writers, designers, and educators, youth advocates, and other leaders. We're looking forward to unveiling this line as well as other culturally diverse products.
And then we never heard about it again.
Well, 2021. I think it's happening this fall. We should be getting this new line of dolls.
Why haven't we had like previews for it? If it should be in fall, it's the summer. If you don't remember, we had previews for Courtney in like the spring before the fall she was released.
So those are leaks, or those are things that somehow.
No, there was a post that said.
That are leaking.
No, that wasn't a leak.
We don't usually know about new products
No, that wasn't a leak. That was a post that it didn't explicitly say who Courtney was, but it just gave a hint as to where she was from. And I remember it was released in the spring, and then she came out in the fall.
I can pass on a comment that a suggestion that we maybe try to do a little teaser or something to let people know that these new dolls are coming.
Yeah, it's also a great idea to let the customer know, like publicly, that you are listening and you're not just ignoring us or lying to us. Because that's how we feel. We feel lied to and ignored. And we don't want to feel like that because we're hard on you because we love you and we grew up with your company and we want to see them be the best that they are. And when I yell at you, or not specifically just you, but I yell about why I'm so upset is because it's not right. And I want to see it continue to be great.
You know, American Girl made a lot of the stories that have, our Black characters available for free online. And we've also, we have that new book about to address racism and things like that.
Ma'am, I'm not concerned about the books right now. I'm concerned about dolls. Because along with the books, children have dolls. That's what I'm most concerned about.
Okay.
You can make as many books as you want.
Pass on your comments, and hopefully what we offer this fall get us closer to where you'd like us to be.
going to take a lot of effort and care and, assuring that, you're not ignoring us and you're listening. And also, the people in in the social media department, can you tell them to stop ignoring people's DMs because it's really hurtful and it feels like they're not listening? Thank you. Just tell them that.
Thank you for sharing your feelings, your suggestions.
Of course. Oh, and by the way, when you tell that to the social media department, tell them that you were sent by AG Doll Lover on Instagram. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye. I can't